Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, as the title suggests, can Drew be redeemed? Hmm? Is it possible? Is it possible that Drew at some point can be redeemed? Now, first of all, before I get started, I want to sit there and give a huge shout out to Amy H. Let everyone thank Amy H for her generosity. I really do appreciate that. It really does help out the channel immensely. Trust me, it does. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Now let's sit there and get the roll call because we got a lot to talk about, people. Amy H, Amy H is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tommy Smith is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Kai Wan is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Crystal is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sean is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Allison is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Janice is in the chat. How you doing tonight? It's amazing. People, yeah, and it's funny. Okay, so Janice says, "Hell no, Drew needs a dirt nap." Well, would you say the same thing about Luke Spencer? Allison is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Ronnie Ron is in the chat. How you doing tonight? So we got a lot to talk about, people. But I do appreciate your participation, Janice. It's appreciate you. Eagles in the chat. What's going on, Drew? That knows the truth about what Curtis did. I guess that means Curtis and Portia has a target on their backs. I think Curtis is going to give up his job to save Portia. They ain't gonna do anything. I mean, he better hope that's gonna be enough to appease. I'm doing good, Sean. Thank you for joining tonight. Oh, Allison, by the way, is Dion actually doing a stream tonight? Let me know if Dion. Oh, okay. So I guess somebody who rapes another person, that's considered likable. Like, no. Seriously, no. Hold on. Let me. Monique is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, we can sit there and forgive a rapist, but Drew, he's not likable. But that Luke Spencer, yeah, I mean, he did rape somebody, but he is a likable person. I love it. What's good, Jillian? Now says Monique says both Drew and Willow still don't take accountability for their action. It was Nina's fault. Or it was exact. Yes, Monique. Yes. Hmm. Yes, me too, Jillian. Well, I just want to take a hot minute and so take a look at that. I'm not trying to like shame you or anything like that. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you, Eagle. Thank you. You're absolutely right. I'm not monetizing this, but thank you now. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you, Eagle. Thank you. You're absolutely right. I'm not monetizing this, but thank you. Oh no, I appreciate you, Eagle. Thank you. One of the many reasons why I appreciate having you in this chat, Eagle. Okay, I think that's enough of that. Here. Autumn's in the chat hydrant tonight. That's why I always censor my word. No, yeah, you're right. You're right, Eagle. You're 100% right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, Josh. You're absolutely right. Didn't think of that. What's good, Queen of the South? How is your lovely queen doing tonight? Autumn says Curtis needs to stop talking Portia out of taking accountability because Drew knows Nina snitched. Curtis should just let Portia turn herself in, accept the consequences of her choices. Yes, she needs to sit there and turn herself in. Christina needs to sit there and turn herself in. But it's good to see you, though, Queen of the South. Of course. Yeah. And then, there's the whole Kai situation. It feels like it's Kai versus the world. And also Trina. Trina has oh shit, I forgot. I can't. Ugh, this is so annoying. Now Alice says when Luke blanked Laura, he wasn't split personality. Luke, that was a decades later on. Yeah, no, I think on Janice is just, I don't know, joking or something. Um, it just like I said, it amazes me when you look at what Luke Spencer did, what Todd did, but then people sit there and say that Drew is irredeemable. I'm like, really? Sean says she's temperamental. No, she's becoming self righteous just like her daddy. Okay. But no, Dan's not doing the stream this week. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know, Allison. I appreciate you. Kaiwan says they are treating Kai like he's selling blank, like either ex pimp or sub. Rosemary's in the chat. How you doing tonight? I missed you on the hospital today, but did you know that Devon? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I saw the what you call it, the trailer, courtesy of Curtis. Autumn says, I'm glad Michael put two and two together. Intercept Willow saying Michael in Germany. Do you know how many times Michael and Willow could have exactly? And then Drew's meant to talk. Drew's trying to make it seem like, oh, it's some sort of noble gestures or whatever. And it's not. Okay, Ron, I'll get to your second question since you didn't let me answer the first one. Did you think Sarah was suspicious of Sophia supposedly giving birth? Yes. Yes, Sarah was suspicious. We, we watched the same episode. Yeah, that's why she questioned her. I was just surprised that because Sophia was like, well, I know my rights. You can't violate HIPAA, and she was like, I can if I feel the baby was in danger. Now, Eagle says Josh is a two-faced saying anything to Kai about being a liar and broken trust. Her friendship with Trina has always been one-sided. Trina tells everything about her, but Jocelyn says nothing about herself. Yes. It's not even just that. It's one of those things where it's like she's not even bothering to sit there and listen to Kai's point of view. Kai literally sat there and said, hey, listen, I told the truth because of my principles, right? He was like, I didn't, listen, regardless of what Drew is, regardless of how people sit there and see Drew, I did that because I felt it was the right thing to do because of my principles. And then she talks about, oh, well, you betrayed Trina, but you got your principles. Like she trying to make it seem like his principles, him standing on his principles, didn't matter. This is why when I talk to people, and you can tell that she was coming from a place of emotions. You can tell that she was coming from a place of emotion. Because my whole thing is like, he's not absolving his guilt. He's not absolving his part in it. He understands that he betrayed her, right? But all she Smith is saying is, well, Drew did wrong to my family. Drew has screwed over my family, and he's a bad person. Okay, but he's a bad person. It's not to sit there and say Kai's a bad person. You're not bothering to sit there and listen to his side. So it's like, what's like? I can't deal with people like that. Like I really can't. Rosemary says, is he leaving the young and the restless? Oh no, he's most likely not leaving the young and restless. He's just doing a crossover, Rosemary, because apparently, well, Beyond the Gates is in the same universe as Young and the Restless and Born the Beautiful. So no, he's not leaving Young and Restless for that. No, he's not usually leaving Young and Restless for Beyond the Gates. He's just doing a crossover. That's all. He's still going to be divine. He's still going to be Divine Winters over there. Ron says, "Do you know? Do you think that Roman should have taken the fifth when he was quit?" No, no, he shouldn't have. He should not have taken the fifth. He should have did exactly what he did because if he would have took the fifth, he would have made Johnny look bad. There was a possibility of that. So now Monique is coming in with the facts. Monique says, "Yeah, of course, Roman." Monique says Willow didn't listen to a word Rick said, followed the court's orders right. Now Michael has the power, shows the court and Michael you can be around the kids. And yet she makes the beeline right to what you call it. Right to what you call it. Right to Michael talking about, oh, can I see the kids? Can I see girl, stop. Like what are you doing? But no, Ron, it's not always a prudent idea. It's not always a good idea to sit there and take the fifth run. Just because you can doesn't necessarily mean that you should. Well, of course not, Allison, because she's having a mental breakdown. Hey Lorby, I just wanted to say hello since I will not stay since I am not up to date with the soaps. Can you believe my Wi-Fi YouTube TV was cut off since Friday? I just got oh wow. Oh that sucks. Damn. Well it's good to see you though, Lorby. And sorry you had to deal with all that. That sucks. I'm not even like a Gen X kid or anything like that, but like besides me needing Wi-Fi for just work and doing this, yeah, I would lose my shit. I am a millennial though, so hmm. Also, I haven't said this too often, but let's see. Hit that like button, people. We got 5 likes in the chat. We got 19 people. So yeah, hit that like button because it does actually help. Ron says, I understand patient records, but if Sarah did violate conduct, then what? Well, then she'll be fired. But like I said, she didn't violate HIPAA. She didn't violate HIPAA because, as she said, as a doctor, it can be superseded if she feels that the child is in danger. So, Autumn says, I still don't hear Willow taking any accountability for her choices. She keeps blaming Drew and Nina. Yeah. And again, this is the reason why she doesn't deserve to have the kids back because she's not thinking about the kids. She's not even thinking about herself, trying to improve herself as a better person and a better mother. My whole thing was like, girl, you need help. You can't be a mother to those children. I know I saw the previews. I never got a chance to watch it, Eagle, but I saw the previews there when I was watching Days. It looks interesting. It looks interesting. Like maybe I will at some point. I don't know, but it looks interesting. Ron said, Did I miss something? I was only watching Deacon and Sheila scenes. How did Lee's cell phone? How did she get set on Lee? I don't know. They might have exchanged numbers off screen, but all they showed was Luna. And she still looks like she's either in a coma or she's recuperating. But that's about it, though. What's good, Kristen? Liz was giving up all the tape. Why did they restrict the message? I don't understand that. Fucking weird. But he's dating Pamela Anderson in real life. Wait, he's dating Pamela Anderson? What the? Oh shit! I didn't know that. Hmm, that's interesting. Kristen says Liz was giving up all the tea accidentally. Yeah. That's crazy though. I mean, listen, good for him. Shit. Taiwan says, Albert, on Twitter, you were saying what did Michael did that was abusive towards Will when he manhandled her yesterday. Do you think it was? No, I don't think it was abuse. I think that he was protecting his child's mental health by getting her away from Wiley. I think if anyone actually said that, I think they're a bunch of idiots. That's my thoughts, Kaiwan. You know, it's actually really great though with Liam Nielsen is that he's such a serious actor at times that when he does comedy, it works, right? When he does comedy, it works because he's usually a serious actor, right? So the comedy angle works for him perfectly. It's kind of like The Rock to some extent, but what? Okay, so weird. I didn't see. Okay, Eagle said, "Did you hear Jerry Anderson was arrested by the FSA? Oh, Gilbert. He lied to the investigation, among other things he cooked up." I feel like I should know that name, Eagle, but I don't. Oh, ex basketball player and podcaster currently. Okay, Gilbert. Okay, I gotta look him up then. Let me just do this. No, Jesus Christ, this is not gonna work. I have to do this then. No. Oh my Lord. Okay. It's like trying to take a screenshot is just the most obnoxious thing ever. There we go. Whew. And Shannon Sharp got fired by what? Okay, Eagle. That's the story I gotta sit there and do. Okay. And I just saved it too. So okay. That's nuts. That is nuts. I'm actually kind of pissed off by that. I'm actually kind of annoyed. I'm actually kind of pissed off by that. Why is it not? Okay, there we go. Damn, I was like, where the hell? I was like, where the hell was I at? Then I was like, oh wait, I was home, but I was doing the soaps. Pretty much, his football money is all down the drain. Yeah, because of a very scandalous kind of relationship he had um with that girl. You know, it's a shame. It's like he did all that for some. We'll sit there and say research material. Why is it not? Okay, really? There we go. Autumn says, I feel like Drew did this so he can look like a hero and Willow's eyes. Like what yes, yeah, and I, yeah, exactly. Like he was trying to be noble. Yes, like he was there trying to be all noble about it, right? Like, well, you know, just let her see her kids. I was like, bro, here's the thing though. If you was really worried about her seeing her kids, um, you wouldn't have been sitting there playing those type of games in the first place. Ron says, why didn't Kate go to the court and testify on the oath? I don't know if she, because I don't know, I don't think she had anything to do with it. She didn't actually have it, like it was Roman's gun. So of course Roman's gonna be there. But Kate has nothing to do with it, so there's no reason why she should have to test under oath. There's no reason why she should be called. Roman's only a witness because he also admitted that he was, um, because he admitted that he was doing a whole witness tampering. Well, he evidence tampering. It was good, Tommy. I'm not gonna lie, the young, I mean, well, Beyond the Gates wasn't really that great. Gonna be honest. Um, I think Sharon is Leslie's mom, maybe. Um, yeah, it wasn't really doing anything. It wasn't really doing much of anything. It's like Chelsea looked at some dress and was like, she had that, oh my God, it's hideous look. And then I guess she saved them or something. But like Leslie, I mean, Sharon, that other chick, I felt like they were lying straight to Chelsea's face about about what's good, Jonathan? About Anita and how they felt. But no, seriously, thank you, Evie, because I'm gonna look that shit up tonight. That Shannon Sharp thing up tonight. Guess it's time to make a part two. So I super appreciate you telling me about that. I always feel like I find shit out like way too late, and then when I actually want to do a video about it, it's like 7 days past, and like, fuck me. Sean says, "How about the Omen? You mean the movie? I never seen it." Tommy says, "Mr. Shepherd is pissed off tomorrow." Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch tomorrow's episode, but now Kristen said, "I'm tired of redemption storylines. Just be a villain." See, I'm with that. What's good, Spider? Exactly, John. Yep. You know. It was good, Spider. Um, see, and like I said, Spider, I know that you're gonna sit there and do a whole mountain of defense when it comes towards Lulu. But one of the things I had to sit there and talk about was the fact that Lulu act like Liesel can't be redeemed. I mean, Liesel can't sit there and change, and Britt was not allowed to change. But Lulu wasn't exactly a choir girl back in the day, and she changed. Her cousin Carly, she changed. Oh no, Eagle, I didn't even see the first one. That was probably the one. That was yeah. I didn't even see the first Happy Gilmore Eagle. Um, I used to be kind of an Adam Sandler fan back in the day, but like I think I forgot the last movie I saw, but Fire Quick says, "I when it comes to Brooklyn, Lulu's right, but Lulu is wrong when it comes to Lee's on bread." Oh wow, yeah, yeah. I don't sense any biasness with that. Ooh, yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said, Jonathan. It wasn't super great today. Like you could have literally missed that episode and you wouldn't have missed shit. You're right. I'm not being biased truly. No, no, I said that's literally what you are. You are being I just actually believe it. Yeah, sure. Okay. Um, you say so. Listen, I respect your opinion. I disagree, but I respect it. I respect it. Okay. So I had to upload some clips on uh, my Dropbox today, and because of that, I'll sit there and Yeah, okay, cool. And you know, Spider, then I don't okay. Then I don't see what Brooklyn did to Lulu is wrong as well. Right? I don't see what Brooklyn did to Lulu was wrong either. Because at the end of the day, just like Geo needed to know the truth, so did Rocco, right? So by that stretch of imagination, one second, people. I'm gonna get to your comments in a second. I'm just switching over, so I'm not. Yeah, and it didn't really matter. It it didn't really matter what Brooklyn wanted, right? Because what Brooklyn needed, that didn't matter, right? Come on, bro. I mean, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. But don't worry, Jonathan. I will get back to your question and Ron in a second. What's good, Sean? Did not forget you. Are you gonna? There we go. I think I'm good. Let me know in the chat if I'm good on that. What's good, Jay Blue? Oh, and to answer that question, Jonathan, no, because she didn't. First of all, yesterday she came over like the Wicked Witch of the East. What's good, Big Nate? So ain't no way in hell that Willow should be seeing those kids. Ain't no way in hell, Jonathan. And thank you, Rosemary. No, she needs to fix herself before she gets around those kids. And she don't honestly tell you the truth. She doesn't. Okay, J Blue says Elizabeth gave me a new word, love bombing. Yes. No, Jonathan. And what's good, Big Nate? I do not think that Michael's gonna let her see her kids because she didn't learn anything. What did she learn? Like in all reality, what did she learn? It was jacked up. Ain't no way in hell. Okay, now what did you say, Ryan? Okay, I guess it's Leslie is the worst mom. Oh, that wasn't a question. You just Johnson says, and I think could be worse for Willow if it comes out that she was the one. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what Nina was there saying to. Well, I don't know exactly who she said it to, but yes. And Kristen said, when Carly is the voice of reason, you know you messed up. Yes, exactly. I totally forgot about that. What about Maxie? Oh, she said it to Mac. I don't remember if she said it to Maxie. She was talking to Maxie. Oh, yeah, she said that she couldn't say it. That's what it was. Now Sean says Drew should leave town for DC and lay low for a while. That's very true, Eagle. You know, my whole thing is when she sat there and she blamed Nina for losing her kids, I was like, girl, you don't deserve those kids because you can't take accountability to save your goddamn life. That's the truth about it. You cannot take accountability to save your life. And it's actually pretty disgusting on how she's going about it. Yeah, but right now it's really like Willow is the more important one, and the fact that she burned almost every bridge. Like she's staying at Liz's house because that's probably the last person that could sit there and really tolerate her. And she's like, "Oh, I don't want to go back to Nina's, and I don't have anywhere to go." And I'm like, you know, something occurred to me too, though, right? Um, Michael paid for her. Michael paid for her to sit there and be. Michael paid for for Willow to be a nurse. He paid for her education. The only reason why she's actually a nurse now is because of what you call it. It's because of Michael. Well, Ron, unfortunately, that's not how that works. So if they have to sit there, yeah, I get what you're saying. Poor little. She's kind of a brat, and she's a lot of ways like her mom. So I don't feel that bad for her. In all reality, if they have to sit there and put her on the oath, then they have to sit there and put her on the oath. Get her counseling afterwards. I don't know, Ron. I don't actually have the capacity to um, be understanding and sympathetic. I don't do that. Exactly, Jonathan. She made her own choices, but the problem is she's not taking accountability. I'm like, girl, if you can't take accountability for any of the stuff that you're doing right now, then like you don't deserve those goddamn kids. You don't deserve them. You really do not deserve them. That's literally how I'm looking at it. So they feel accountable for being wrong. Okay. Now Eagle says I've been seeing people say I feel sorry for Willow. Just remember she was okay with Drew. Blackmail and Portia. She cheated on Michael and Chase, and she stalked Sasha and Michael's baby. Exactly. Oh, also what I found really interesting. Why is it so loud for? What's good, Ed? Something did occur to me after I read Nate's comment. Nate said if they're going to redeem Drew, they need to reveal that CM Drew is not the real Drew, that he's an imposter, or he's being controlled by the terror. They never actually explained that part, right? That's true. She did. She did. That's true, Jonathan. She said to Liz, she was like, you know what? Going to Carly's house was a mistake yesterday, right? But here's something else, though. I think of Michael that knew that Drew was right. See, Drew sat there and said that I never meant to hurt Michael. I never meant to hurt you. I just fell in love with Willow. I find that to be a crock of horse manure. But Michael Michael did the same thing. Michael did the same thing to Chase with Willow. Michael knew that Willow was married, and he still went for her anyway. So part of me does kind of look at that and be like, bro, He does have a point. And it says Beyond the Gates made Tracy and Sharon likable for once. It's hard for me to sit there and say that because I felt like they sat there and they lied right to Chelsea's face when they were sitting there talking about Anita and how they felt about Anita because they've been sitting there doing nothing but talking shit about Anita since they both got to town. So this whole oh she's our sister and everything like that, I was like lying piece of what's good, Nicole? Ron says if that's the case, then Kristen will be pissed. She might strip Brady away from seeing his daughter. I can just remember she had custody. Yeah, but that's not Brady's fault though. That Rachel has to testify. That's a court order right there. That's the law. What's good, Amber? So it just made me sit there and think about that though too. To redeem Drew, he has to say that he has PTSD that's led Miss P down. I mean, I get what you're saying, Sean, that Nina started this whole thing, but in all reality, that doesn't absolve Willow. Willow made her choices, and she's gonna have to sit there and deal with that. So, Nikab says, "I heard B&B is going to be good this week. I hope so. It hasn't been good so far. I mean, today's episode was like it wasn't actually kind of well. The previews, I like the fact that they are shooting a location. I love that, Nikab. I absolutely like the scenes and stuff like that. They are stunning. But what makes the episode today like goes into a goddamn rock, like sinks like a rock, is Brooke and her constant begging for Ridge's affection, right? Nick is there, Nick is not there trying to woo her, and this stupid dingbat is still talking about it's so hard, Ridge. I want to be with you, and just being too close to you, and he's like, shut the fuck. And then Eric, Eric is another person that is pissing me off. His cut. Oh shit. Okay. You don't like the character Finn, Sean? Crystal says 33 people and 17 likes. Oh, hit that like button, people. Hit that like button because it really does help. It'll get more people in there watching it. Wow, that's how it sounds. Nico says I was going. I'm just. It's the same. It's like Nico. We've been dealing. Okay, since Rich broke up with Brooke for the last time, right? Since that whole corporate merger or takeover thing, we've been sitting there dealing with her, begging this man for the same thing. And at first he said no because he thought that she was on some duplicitous shit. But now he just sitting there saying no because he wants to be with Taylor. And how long, how many days have we been sitting there listening to that? And I think that's why it's just like it's it doesn't make me feel bad for her. I actually tell you the truth, it just annoys me. It's like, girl, you are over 50 years old and you are still begging for a man's attention. What is like my whole thing is like, would she want her granddaughter begging for a man's attention? She's a role model. Everyone's not there saying that she is in the fashion industry. It's her own goddamn daughter and her granddaughters. That's the part that just blows me every single in time. Johnson says so Lee cares for Luna now is because she's Finn's daughter. Yeah, that's never really sat right with me. That's never sat right with me. Ever. I did like his car. So thank you, Rosemary. Yes, hit that like button because it does. So we got 28 people in this chat. Now, Ed says, so glad Michael brought up Germany, and Drew was like, that doesn't matter. Do the right thing, bro. All you care about was getting your way. Yeah, exactly. He didn't, he didn't admit like, yeah, I did that. He was just like, because again, he wants to sit there and play the noble person. He wants brownie points, is what it comes down to. He wants brownie points. And it's sad, but like, that's just, that's Drew at this point. But, yeah, and then like even the Young and the Restless wasn't really. And Sean's just watching the chat. Even the Young and the Restless wasn't really that great, you know. But I don't know if anyone actually even. Not that I don't even know how many people actually watched the Young and the Restless today, but Young and the Restless didn't really bring it. Young and the Restless really did not bring it. It wasn't the worst, but like you know, Johnson says, "Oh, Lee Poppy as a monster, and while she isn't Mother of the Year, Luna was the one who took two lives." But again, it's just one of those things where it's like now suit, unless everyone welcomes suit. I hate the word destiny. Beamy ran into the ground. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting, right? Lee took, Lee took Luna as her patient. I guess going to try to rehabilitate her, whatever. But exactly, yeah, because she was. Oh, you didn't watch? Okay, you didn't watch. Well, I hope we're not spoiling. I feel like we're spoiling it for you, Sean. But that's the thing, though, Ed. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This whole this whole courtroom scene is just out of order, right? Belle shouldn't be sitting there prosecuting her nephew. EJ really probably shouldn't be, as the victim, representing his son, right, who is being accused of it. Paulina, you know what I'm saying? Like, talking to Belle and everything like that. Like this whole thing is just so goddamn out of order, right? But particularly with that scene, even them talking afterwards, and AJ's that they're trying to like hold her hand for like comfort or whatever. It's like, it, and yeah, he did do that. He was like, she was like, hey, listen, I want to leave, but you the one that sat there and pressured the judge to sit there and get me back on the case. Like, what do you want? Okay, now Jay Blue says, "What are people's takes on Curtis' advice towards Trina?" Yes, I want to know that. I felt like he was being kind. I felt like he. I don't think he was being a hypocrite, but I felt like he was recognizing his own, his own f up with how she treated Portia, with how he treated Portia, and it's almost like Trina listened to the advice. It's almost like Trina listened to the advice because she was acting self-righteous, listened to her advice, and then went right back to being self-righteous, just like her daddy. Johnson says, "Do you think Sarah will keep Sophia's secret?" Yes, because the only reason why she said that she wouldn't at first is because she felt like she thought that you know at one point, one second, man. At one point, I didn't think that was possible. But she was like, if the baby is in danger, then yes, I can violate HIPAA's laws. Blue says, I'm glad Isaiah said cold cheese to Portia. What are the chances we'll see more of Terry if Portia loses her job? None. I still think it's going to be the exact same thing. J. Blue, let me put it this way. If they didn't really show her that much during Pride Month, then we're not going to see her now. I'm going to say that again. If we did not see Terry that much during Pride Month, we ain't going to see her now. And it's unfortunate, and I think it's still pretty messed up, but you know, Ron says, don't forget that Lee is going to confine and show that, yeah, I don't see that happening, Ron. I know you keep sitting there saying that, but I don't see that happening, though. Now, Kristen says, I haven't been watching Trina for her entire time on the show. Has she always been this sanctimonious? Yeah. Now, here's my thing I'm going to sit there and say. She's controlling as hell. And I think that controlling nature, when I say controlling, when Trina said, don't you feel bad for Snitty defending Drew now knowing what he's like? Kai was like, well, if I did feel bad, would that change anything? And she said yes, because I would like it. So basically, just that they're trying to tell this man how to feel. That's controlling. And that controlling comes from a sense of trauma. See, when she lost Spencer, she wasn't in control of that, right? But she also never sat there and got help, went to grief counseling or anything like that. And I feel like this knee jerk reaction to sit there and try to control him would be like, well, you should sit there and do this, or you should sit there and look at it my way. Comes from that trauma of not dealing with the loss of Spencer. Jay Blue says that's why I like that Kai is still not his principles. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Do you understand how? Okay, listen. I respect everyone's opinions, and listen. I get it. Not everyone's going to sit there and agree with me about stuff, and that's fine. My issue is that no one's bothering to try to see it from Kai's point of view. Kai has never sat there and said, "Well, I don't understand why Trina's upset with me." Right? When he was talking to Jocelyn was like, "Well, he's a bad man, this, that, and the third." He said, "You know what? Listen, how other people saw him wasn't why I won Drew. He won Drew because that's who he is, and like he said, he's still in his principles." And Jocelyn sat there and mocked him and walked away. But my whole thing is like, Jocelyn, how many times did you stand on your goddamn principles? What do you would think would have happened if somebody would have mocked you for them? Kristen says, I figured that's why she reacted so strongly to his surgery because she was afraid of losing someone else. This current shit through doesn't really benefit her. No, it doesn't. Now, Jay Blue says only Stella did, and she even told him that he might lose Trina. Ron says, why don't you? Ron says, why don't you see it that way? meaning that Lee should confide in Sheila about Luna whereabouts, and she lied about. Okay, you're asking why did. Okay, you're asking me why don't I see it that way? Because Lee doesn't like Sheila. Yeah, they have Luna in common, but she never liked Sheila. She's not going to like Sheila. Just because they have something in common as far as grief or whatever, doesn't mean that she's going to trust. Lee is not going to trust Sheila. Why should she trust Sheila? I don't understand that. You sit there saying, why don't I see it that way? Because we've seen how Lee and Sheila has interacted. We know their bad history. So I don't understand why you just magically think that Lee is going to confide in Sheila about what she's doing. When she doesn't like her, she doesn't trust her. Given their history and the fact that you've been watching this for a while, I don't understand how you don't really see that. Or I don't understand how you don't see that I see that. And again, you are constantly sitting there talking about Sheila having a baby, so you know, I guess all logic and reason kind of goes out the window at that point. But yeah, sanctimonious. I kept calling her self righteous, but as says, I know Sophia's young, but she's so stupid because her plan has so many holes, and she expects nobody to question what she did. Yeah, exactly. Then Daniel said Kai stood on his square in principles. I'm proud of the brother. Kai don't have to change his values for Trina's self-righteous and hypocritical parents. Ooh, I love it. You know what? That was good. That was good. Let me that was so good. Oh, yeah. There we go. We're gonna pin that shit. We're gonna pin that shit, Daniel. Tracy Steves, how you doing tonight? There we go. That was good. That was good, Daniel. I like that. Pin that shit. Was good, Island. But that was good. Looking back on days, it was awesome. Man. It was awesome, man. I just don't understand how. Um, Now Ed says Trina should understand where Kai is coming from because she stood by Ava for years when everyone told her what Ava and she still Ava's friends was good for her. Damn. I felt like we need to sit there and change the damn title to the trial of Trina. Hmm. Very good, Ed. Very good point. Yeah, I mean, when she finds out, she finds out. It's very hard for me to sit there and care anything about the Sophia character because the actress is just so goddamn bad. And like when she tries to get an attitude with her mom, it just comes across like, yeah, it's kind of like, who the hell do you think you are talking to, little girl? Now, Jay Blue says Kai should have used Trina's court experience to make his point clear. Esme framed her for a crime she didn't commit, and yet she was the first person to talk about, well, we should sit there and try to find a way to let her out of jail for AIDS and everything else. But no, the Ava one was perfect, right? Because she had problems with her own bestie because of that, right? She had problems. I remember Johnson used to sit there and say, "How could you be friends with somebody like Ava, given what she did to my family?" But yet, Trina's being a goddamn hypocrite, coming at Kai for the same shit that she was defending Ava for. Hey, girl, you were just. Yeah, he did. He did that. But like, I just thought about that. Well, yeah, Ed brought that up. I was like, that's such a good goddamn point. If I remember it tomorrow, I may want to bring it up. If Trina the hypocrite, well, if Trina the hypocritical, sanctimonious, self-righteous little girl she is, if I remember that, then I will sit there and point that out. But good. I did not think of that shit. Now, Jake Blue says, I'm surprised Portia's the same way about Ava too, but she wanted Spencer far away. I don't remember you saying that one time, but I don't think she hates her mother. I think that she is just the typical Gen X teen. But except for this one, this actor plays her terribly and doesn't really make her come across as an attitude, just like a little snarky or like her little miniature moments of bravery. And it just comes across as just stupid. But, I will sit there and say that I will sit there and say that Days of Our Lives fans don't. Days of Our Lives fans deserve better than the actress that plays Sophia. Days of Our Lives deserves better than the stupid teen storyline that we're getting. Like, honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't even want to sit there and care about the fact that Holly is deciding to stay and not go to a part. Oh, Gen Z. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. Of course, the microphone to my Victor Newman. Appreciate you. But like, I shouldn't even care for the simple fact that Holly's deciding not to go to a go away, to a school because she's basing her decisions not off of education, but off of her feelings towards a boy. Like, what are we doing at this point? Ed says, I do like, unlike other characters, Kai takes responsibility for his choices he made and stands on his values. Exactly. I have no idea, Ron. I have no idea. I can't sit there and tell you. I don't know. Now, Johnson says Holly mentioned that thing or better between Eric and Nicole. Yeah, I get that, but I felt like she picked that school because she felt like it was probably the best choice for her, not just like she felt like it was. I don't know. I just feel like she's choosing not to go. Like, yeah, that was one of her strong reasons for going, but she must have picked that school for a reason, right? The problem is we don't even really know like what direction education wise she wants to go. But I feel like she's choosing to stay for Kate. I don't know. It's like what I'm talking about. It's like I shouldn't have to care about this stupid teen BS that we have going on, but I don't know. I guess the vets want some time or some time off, so unfortunately we're kind of stuck with that shit. Yes, he stands to his principles. I literally had a conversation with someone today, and I my issue sometimes when it comes towards the Kai character is that people get really people people judge Kai based off of his association with Drew. And since people don't like Drew, and they get very emotional when it comes towards Drew, um, Moscato, which sadly I'm pretty much almost out of, so I got to get another one tomorrow. But yeah, Moscato. I didn't even actually have anything to drink yesterday. I think I was just. It was so late. It's like around 9 o'clock. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's not even do that. Um, that's my thing though with with um with I don't know. There's not really a lot of other wines that I really like. Like red wine is bitter, right? I don't remember the last time I had white wine. Ed says Drew losing it when it comes to writing the. Oh, Dave's losing when it comes to writing the teen storyline. Last one was with the blast in the past. What the hell? DC. Ooh, I'm gonna read that one next. Now DC says Project Enterprise, my heart goes out to Willow. Also I felt Curtis could have given Nina a heads up after he told Willow. You feel bad for Nina? I mean you feel bad for what you call it? Your heart goes out to Willow? Gabriel says there are some sweet oh I gotta try him. That's interesting, Gabriel. Wow. Kind of made me stop in my tracks. There are actually some sweet red wines. I love it was good, Deluxe. I love sweet wine. So now Johnson says, but people, especially someone we know here, don't judge Trina based off her association with Ava. Jonathan, you are killing it. Okay, but she made the choices herself, though. You sit there saying you're okay. So DC sitting there saying, "I do feel bad. I do feel for Willow. No woman deserves what she went through." What about the fact that she was literally going to go in the house, scare the shit out of her children, even when Carly was like, "Look at your face. Look how your appearance is." But yet Willow didn't care about that. Willow cared about what she wanted. Right? This is the problem with Willow. Willow did what was best for her. Willow was constantly sitting there moving those children around from place to place to place to place. Willow is the one that decided to get her kids up in the middle of the goddamn night because she was so embarrassed by her scandal that she decided to get the kids in the middle of the night to take them over to Nina's place. What are we doing? Willow did this shit to herself. Honestly, tell you the truth, the fact that okay, DC, I'm not trying to commit you sideways. The fact that he sat there and said no woman should have to go through this. What does that have to do with Willow? We're not okay. We're not talking about Sunny. We're talking about Willow. Let's stick on point for a hot minute. Let's not. We're not going to deviate. That's we're talking about Willow. We're talking about what Willow did yesterday. Willow barged in that damn house. Did you not sit there and see afterwards the look on Wiley's face when he was confused and didn't understand why he couldn't see his mother? He couldn't understand why he couldn't sit there and see his mother. No, because I don't understand how we sat there and we saw the same scene. We sat there and saw the same scene. I don't know why it's not okay, whatever. So it's okay. So DT says Willow missed her children. She lost everything because of a man who deceived her. Okay, and she shares no responsibility in that. And let's just go. Okay, let's just sit there and go by the first one. She missed her children, but this isn't just about her. When you have children, you put your children first. The first thing that DC says is that she missed her children. Did you see the appearance that she was in when she went to that damn house? But DC says that she misses her children. What about with the children? Like, do you think that the children needs to sit there and see their mother looking all disheveled, like she's been crying and mascara running down her face? But he just said that she misses her children. When Carly's the voice of reason, you know that there's something wrong. She looked at herself in the mirror, saw her appearance, and still decided, I want to see my children. Because as DC says, she missed her children. But DC, are you sitting there saying that her children deserve to sit there and see their mother in such a disheveled and frantic state? I, I'm just saying. I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if DC actually got what I just said, but like, and I wasn't trying to like tear your sentence apart. When you sit there and say that Willow missed her children, that's exactly why she lost her children in the first place. She lost her children because she did what she wanted to do. That was in the best interest of the children. Here's the thing, DC. For a hot minute, I was sitting there riding with Willow and being like, hey, listen, I don't think that she deserves to lose her children and this, that, and the third. When that judge added all the shit up that she did, and then you couple it by what she did yesterday, she don't deserve to have those kids until she can actually sit there and get herself better. That's the truth of the matter. And I don't like saying that, but like that's the truth of the matter. That's the truth of the matter. No, her kids don't need to. Exactly, her kids don't need to see her like that. Well, I mean, according to DC, according to DC, you know that don't matter because Willow needs to see her children. Rosemary, do you see the issue that I'm having right now? Chat, I want after I read Ed's comment, I'm gonna sit there and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Ed says I didn't like that Jocelyn said Kai wouldn't have anybody. Kai is still young and can rebuild his friendship and love life separate from Trina. Trina can work this out, but she's choosing not to. Facts. This is what not being on task looks like. We're not talking about Michael. We're not talking about Michael. We're talking about Willow. Did you? Did I want? DC? Unfortunately, I have to sit there and make an example out of you. DC says, not Albert trying to build an alliance against me. You know, Corinthos coffee, bro. You keep talking about everybody else. Everybody else did this. Everybody else did that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about. Thank you, Kristen. I'm gonna let the chat deal with you. I'm never gonna. But chat, this is exactly, bro. I'm just not there saying like you can't. It's hard to sit there and feel bad for a woman who destroyed her own life. Yeah, Drew didn't help that out, but like, girl, thank you, Sean. Make sure next time you sit there and say that, put in DC so this way DC can know that you're talking about him. When you're talking to him. Now Johnson says, remember Trina's first encounter with Spencer, he mentioned that Ava is notorious and took a life, and Trina said that Ava is her friend and she has her back. Yes. Yes. And Sean says those kids can be mentally ill, like Willow, if she's around them. Yeah, I think that DC kind of got the point. Um, I'm hoping that he got the point. It was not my intention to sit there and drop the hammer on you. And I'm gonna kind of tell you why I did that in a minute. Ed says I need to see Chelsea and Kat doing more with their business. I see Chelsea using social media to connect with her followers than them using it to promote their business. Yes. Anyway, just remember DC. DC is a good person. I just, yeah, Jonathan. I heard about that. Actually, to tell you the truth, I think I saw it. The reason why I brought that up is because the thing is with DC, part of me sat there and said the reason why I kind of dropped the hammer on DC is that no, no, DC. But my whole thing is like, okay, so DC has a very compassionate spirit, right? DC has a very compassionate spirit. I don't, and that's fine. And see, the thing is with DC, I can respect the fact that he can be more compassionate than me. I just don't feel like that goes both ways. Like I am compassionate to a point, but my point is way more limited than him. So that's kind of why I had to sit there and But it's all love, DC. It's all love. I was. And what's good, Darby? It's good to see you. Just I had to put DC through the ringer a little bit. But it's all love though. So Chelsea, I'm be honest. I don't really give two shits about Chelsea, but you talk about Kat, you talk about Tomas, you talk about Eva, right? Oh, hey DC, I got another one for him. I got another one for DC. Hold on. Now DC says my mom was mad at Willow for making the spectacle public at the wedding. She felt Willow could have pulled Drew to the side. She said that Willow did to Drew, publicly calling him out, wasn't nice. I mean, considering that Scout was there, I can see where your mom is coming from. But here's my whole thing. Let me ask you a question. And I know the answer, but let me ask you a question anyway. DC, do you feel bad for Eva? Do you feel bad for Eva? I mean, do you feel bad for Eva with this whole Thomas thing? Because she is sitting there crying at that goddamn diner like she lost the love of her life. First of all, from what I understand, the dude is really bad in bed. Like, um, he also has a very bland personality, and maybe that has a lot to do with the fact that the actor just can't act. Or yeah, I think the actor just can't act. But like, my whole thing is like, you are tearing up for this man, where he's being Eva got with her sisters. Man, she's wrong. Okay, because I'm just like, girl, do you not sit there and see how he's sitting there going behind Kat's back, the person who he says, oh, I'm in a relationship with. So if he's going behind Kat's back, what makes you think he's not going to go behind your back? That's actually very true. Now DC says like getting with your sister's man is not a way to show the family you changed. Facts. Okay, you got a point. Well, DC, people have been missing you in these YouTube streams. So when you get a chance, you gotta sit there and do a video. YouTube has been like delete my goddamn comments. How about that? That's true. And the thing is, he keeps it there saying like, well, just give us some time. I mean, you know, listen. As long as Drew doesn't know that I was the one that told Willow, then he should just leave you alone and just head out of town. It's like you gave this daffy ass. It's just like what the. And also tell you the truth, let her go out. Let her go out with some dignity. Was good, Susan R. Yeah, let her. And let her go out with some dignity. Let her stand on her principles. How about that? Ooh. DC says, by the way, Warner's really dragging out this Paris storyline. My goodness, Cain had enough food stocked up for weeks. I see is giving Royal Caribbean cruise like 14 days. Um, I guess I can respect it because it's something different, right? Like they got a different set, a different vibe. I mean, a different set and everything like that. So I can respect it, right? Like B&B, a show that DC doesn't watch anymore. But like I love the fact that that they're going on location. Now Susan says I saw that Days is recasting Hobby because he landed a primetime job in a series called William Miles. What? Wow. Well, thank you for letting me know, Susan. I don't know. I mean, well, to be fair, I can see where DC's kind of coming from to some extent. Because not everything has been roses and sunshine. Oh, that was on Michael Fairman's channel. Yes, Susan. Michael Fairman, he is like the hardest working man in the soap streets. Besides me. Yeah. DC says, not me learning hobby's going to be recasted. Bro, you know how we get down to my channel. Come on, DC. You know how we get down to my channel. Came to the wrong channel for that, broski. Come on, broski. Come on, broski. Kristen said Curtis isn't as smart as he thinks he is. Drew keeps beating him without breaking a sweat. Yeah, because Drew. I was going to sit there and say something sarcastic like, well, because Drew is the man and, he is awesome. And I can't say that shit with a straight face. So I just simply can't. Um, oh, and Jay Blue says, DC, you ever been on the Royal Caribbean? Have you ever been on Royal Caribbean? How was it? Darby says, did anyone else see Esme on Michael Furman this week? Well, yes, I did. It was Katie something, the Esme actress, and an acting coach. But I'll sit there and shout him out. I also saw um, Rory Gibson on JLJ Media this Sunday. I popped my head in, said what's up after I went to go see Fantastic Four, and it was fun. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little kind of annoyed that Jess and Cat Lady's not here, because then I could sit there and at least blame one of them if I had a hangover. It's like, god damn, it's like they literally spoiled my fun by not being here. Now I have to like take responsibility for my own actions. How I want to do that for? Debbie said to Esme give any hints whether she returned to Chief. I only saw the tail end of it, unfortunately. I only saw like the last 10 minutes of it. But, J Blue says yes, it is. It is. But it was fun though. It was fun, J Blue. It was well, okay, fun is kind of a stretch. It was an entertaining movie. Yes, it was an entertaining movie. I think fun is kind of a stretch. Sean says you tell him. J Blue says, oh, okay, I haven't seen the original. Well, there's two. There's there's the 2005 one, I think, and then there's like a 2012 one, I think that they did, or it's like there's two. There's one that has two parts, like part one and part two, and then there's another one, and um, the second one that came out was really bad. I think it was like maybe 2012 or 2011. It was really bad. Like the drop. Okay, Jibble, let me put it this way. I think it came out like 2012 or 2013 or whatever. But it was so bad that the drama about making that movie was more entertaining than the movie. But that's not true, Darby. I mean, they're still responsible. One or both of them is responsible. Uh, you're talking about American Ego, right? Right, Sean? I heard about that. I heard the story. I don't know if I would actually make a whole video about that, but I heard the story though. I would have to look more into that company to sit there and see why they are coming at her. Darby says how, explain it slowly. Oh, um, I don't know. I just usually blame one of those two. I mean, it was fun that they're blaming Jess for it, but I figure I'd switch it up and blame Cat Lady. So that's my explanation. But I do see what Sean is talking about though. Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom and I'll be right back. But while I do that, I'm not gonna lie, I probably just always feel that one day when I go and use the restroom, y'all gonna hear something. Y'all gonna hear a voice, and it's gonna creep the shit out of me. But I mean, let's be honest. That's what Michael. That's what Michael would actually look like if you really think about it. If you really think about it, that's how Michael would look like. Darby says, Albert, if you can't blame something on Jess and Cat Lady when they're not here, then you should elect a third string replicate scapegoat. Maybe you can blame Lashanta or Daisy Flower. Black Mine. I'm just saying, Allison, that's what he would have looked like. That's what he would have looked like. Okay? That's what he would look like. This is a good picture, too. Johnson says, but his face wasn't. That's true. That's true. That's true. Um, but yeah, I mean, you know what? And I really do like blaming Jess and Cat Lady, though. I really do. And it says Naomi playing with fire with her marriage, and she knows it. Make sure your husband doesn't get too close to what your family's hiding with Martin. Not good, especially when he knows something's up. Yeah. Well, this is not the first time that Naomi didn't. This isn't the first time that Naomi wasn't sitting there getting upset with Jacob for doing his job. I'm doing good, Black Man. I had off today, so J Blue says if he didn't have those surgeons work on him, those would have been his scars. Oh, it's me, Lisa. I just wanted to What happened to the other pictures I put up? I remember this one though, right? It looks so cartoonish. It really does. It looks cartoonish as shit. I might have said, what is Willow's facial expression in his photo? I know, Lisa. I know. I'm just. They look so goddamn stupid. They look so damn dumb. Okay, so I've seen some of these pictures. When people. Okay, you know how YouTube is, right? When YouTube when they have these channels that do like fake spoilers and stuff like that, and they have the person that doesn't have like they don't speak English or anything like that, they put up this shit, right? And of course, this is supposed to be like a I don't know what you want to call it. I think it pulls people into a video because they just can't help but look at a picture like that and be like, what is this? What is going on? Exactly, showing Photoshop. But it's not just that. Johnson says people use these pictures for clickbait. Yes, yes, that's very true. They are my head. Allison says Facebook does it too. Yep. Um, you know what? Let's show some nice pictures of Cynthia Watros. Yeah, Lisa. Listen. I've been accused of doing that too. I just thought that the pictures was interesting. Yo, Cynthia Watros was a fucking dime back in the day, being okay. Wait, she's not? What the fuck? Hold on. Yeah, that's why I was like, who's in the middle? Who is that then? Yeah, exactly. The Facebook ones are the worst. Yeah, I can see that now. I mean, they look like they put a picture of the actors for some AI app and type down emotions in a promo. Okay. And of course, this is among my favorite ones. Well, it's not among my favorite ones, but there's a reason why I'm showing this picture. Okay, Johnson says the actress in the middle is the second actress who played Annie Dutton. Oh, her name is Singray. Okay. Ah, okay. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, I did a night when we were sitting there watching. Okay, so we went. I don't understand how we went from this to this. Uh, why we do that for? Why we did this to this? Does anybody see some issues with that? Johnson says she also played Adam's mom on Y&R. Oh, I think her name was Hope, right? Thank you, Jonathan. Lisa says Drew is way too far gone for redemption. Hmm. Yep. One is Carly. Does anyone want to take a guess of who the other one is? As says, I'm glad Brooklyn knows this fighting with Lulu needs to stop before someone else gets hurt. Lulu needs to stop only looking at her point of view and put on her big pants and grow the F up. Yes. And okay. Ooh, nice. Oh, good. Ooh, and Johnson says, okay, Cassie, also Cassie Wilson. Hmm. Nelson also said Cassie. Okay, all right, that's what's up. J Blue said that's Laura when she was on Loving. Darby says Albert Bostic is also too far gone for redemption. Signed Catley. Catley loves me, Darby. What are you talking about? Don't be spreading misinformation. Oh, Wilson's. Oh, Winslow. Like family. This is why I rock with Jonathan. This is why I rock with Jonathan. Ed says, get some pictures of Sharon Case. I will do that, Ed. Thank you. But the difference between professional photos, shoots, and someone taking a picture of you, Kelly might look better currently under different lighting. Yeah, that's true, but I mean, that's I bet is correct, but I mean that's thank you, Allison. Thank you, Allison. Okay, just you know, making sure we get our facts straight, Darby. I do gotta post some new pictures, Tom. Sean says me and Laura are the same age. Darby says Kylie does not love the other. Oh, come on, Darby. We're doing so well too. We're doing so well. Seriously, Alice, you got a point. You got a point. You got a point. You got a point. Johnson says to Drew Cain that everyone loved. Yep, and he said it. Hmm. Okay, Darby. Jay Blue says Albert and the actor who played Monica. Oh, and an actor who played Marco are the same age. Are the same age. Oh, Laura's 54. Okay, that seems about right. She, you know. Yeah, and of course we got. Sean says she'll be 55 on September 11th. Oh wow, that. That's somebody else that people don't like. Boyles, whatever his name is, Esme Boyle. Have a good night, Kristen. Thank you for joining. That's somebody else that people don't like. They don't like Kristen. I mean, they don't like but they like Kristen. They don't like Boyles. Esmer Boyles. Oh, Ezra. Ezra. Alice is in. See? Thank you for confirming that, Allison. Ezra. Lisa is 59 years young. Okay. Darby says I'll be 57 September 13th. I know, Sean, it is. It's oof. Yep, like as Ezra Miller. That's somebody else who people don't like. That's somebody else who people don't like. You don't put him in the Hall of Fame of flashes. Okay, that's what you don't do. Okay, there's no, that's not what I wanted. There's Grant. There's that other guy, John Shipper, and that's about it. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. I want to take that off. But yeah, Jay Blue said, "What's wrong with Azure Miller? Is John Wesley Ship?" Lisa says, "Missed that face out of it." Oh no, I was coming back to it. I just wanted to sit there and show some pictures. Um, and you don't pick Ezra Miller when you're running. That dude ain't running. He's skating. He just Jay Blue. He just comes across as a very shady person. That's what it comes down to. He's done some shady stuff back in the day, and not even that far back in the day. But like, I just, I wish I had all the information. There's a lot of stuff that I heard that he's done that I can't really recall, but I just remember every time I heard something about him, that just came across as just really shady and really messed up. But I'm gonna look up some of the stuff he did and give you a good answer for that. Okay, so yeah, see, Darby knows about his ice skating skill. I mean, he may be a hell of an ice skater. I'll tell you that much. No, Lisa. Apparently, she's not on tonight. She's not here tonight. Hopefully, she'll be here tomorrow. Darby says, put the TV flash when that's new DC year. Jay Blue said, I just saw some of the things he did online. Yeah, and the same thing, Jay Blue. They don't paint him in a good light, but because my details is kind of fuzzy, I can't sit there and really like bash him. Also, I didn't really do my own due diligence on him. So, Sean said, "Did you see that, bro?" And oh, Ed says Albert Day should have said Holly and Tate's generation in college where they first introduced them, and maybe that would have helped establish them better than what we got from this generation. I don't think that they're strong characters. I think that's another problem. I think they're not really strong characters though. Jay Blue says grooming of a minor is definitely enough. Yeah, he did do that. Um, Kept her away for like a couple of days, from what I understand. That girl got her face badly beaten. I'm gonna look that up before I go to bed tonight. Thank you, Sean. Jay Blue says humans sucks at times. Yeah, but humans, they do, Jay Blue. But humans can also surprise you too, though, Jay Blue. I um I saw that during the COVID era. You know, during the COVID era, humans, people. There was a lot of people that did step up. And, I guess it just depends on what stuff you tend to really look at or focus the most. Darby says Albert has locked up his female queen. I am actually self-controlling. Selfish, controlling girlfriend. Oh, selfish, controlling boyfriend. I'm somewhat controlling. Somewhat. Screwed end with minors is a no in any situation. People who say that's true, I need to focus on that. I get it. Have a good night, Sean. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. But I get it, J Blue. Sometimes it's you know what it is, J Blue? When the bad stuff happens, it could be louder than the good stuff that we see. That's the hardest part, J Blue. The bad stuff will sit there and happen, and it's a lot louder than the good moments and the good stuff that does happen. So I get that. Darby says Albert hasn't graduated to sociopath yet. Well, I gotta sit there and think about what kind of tendencies sociopaths have and see if it applies to me. That's how I look at it, Jay Bloom. But I don't blame you for your comment and stuff. Lisa says you hear more bad than good. Yeah, because the bad stuff. I hate to sit there and say this, but it's like YouTube, right? The negative videos that will come out will get more views than positive. Because I think that's just how some people are. They want to hear about bad stuff more than they want to hear about good stuff, right? They want to hear more about bad reviews on the movie before they hear about them talking about, stuff that they liked about a movie. Negativity sells. Johnson says in the future they could be a Flash film with the upcoming DCU Flash actor John and Grant and no Ezra. Yeah, I did like the movie though, Jonathan. I did actually like the Flash movie. I think I tended to focus more on the movie than him as an actor. Allison says, and this is why I hate the news networks. People said that's why I really watch the news. That's why you really don't watch the news. I'm assuming because it's depressing. Allison says it's all biased both sides. Yeah. That's the thing though, Allison. We're humans, right? We're humans. So we're gonna be biased. Hell, Allison, I'm no different. I try to sit there and look at both sides of the situation when it comes towards these soap operas. I look at Trina's side, I look at Kai's side, right? But that's just humanity. W says like Aquaman will graduate to being Lobo and will graduate to being Lobo. And oh yes, yes, yes. It took me a second. Yes, yes. We are. It's Jason Momoa. So, listen, anything that Jason Momoa is in, sign me the F up. Seriously, sign me up. But, yeah, that's humanity for you. Wouldn't it be a trip if the way they kill off Monica is they have Willow F with her and accidentally kill her? I don't blame you. I mean, um, they weren't good. His running scenes wasn't good scenes, but there was. I feel like there was more good stuff than bad that made me enjoy the movie. I don't know how you can actually get hung up on a running scene that distracts you from the movie, but okay. Lisa says I watched the weather, but that's about it. Allison says no, that wouldn't be good. Yeah, unfortunately, people are going to be people, but it's hard to drown it out. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the stream here, but I will be back tomorrow. I'll sit there and have a good time. So I do want to thank everyone for joining tonight, though. This was actually a lot of fun, as usual. But I'll be back tomorrow, the usual time. We'll sit there and have a fun time. Also, become a member. What? Don't make me reach into that TV. Pull that crazy trick out of my. But yes, have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Jay Blue. Have a good night, Ed. Have a good night, Allison. Have a good night, Rosemary. Have a good night, Jonathan. That's a have a good night, right, Ed? Have a good night, Tracy Steve. Have a good night, Queen of the South. Have a good night, Ronnie Ron. Johnson says, join us next time for another edition of Soul Chat without the Bostic. Thank you, Jonathan. Johnson says, good night. Hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. Continue to share the videos. Definitely hit the like button because I want people to watch this later on. And yeah, I will sit there and see you in the next stream. Laters.